Welcome back to the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. I'm Rich Walsh, filling in for Bob Pompiani today, and now I want to talk a little bit about Andrew McCutchen, hit number 2,000 today. And Jason, where does he rank all time for you in Pirates history? He's one of 12 guys, I think, as a Pirate to hit 2,000 hits.
Yeah, to get their 2,000th hit as a Pirate. Obviously, there are guys like Bonds who, have 2,000 or more hits that, are going to be very high up on that list. And I have a tough time not putting McCutchen in that franchise Mount Rushmore. And you can come at me with more credentials, Hall of Fame, MVP, home runs, RBIs, whatever. I realize the numbers aren't there. You can't name a player in the past 30 years more popular than Andrew McCutchen and who means more to the fan base than Andrew McCutchen for generations of fans. I'm putting him in the top 4. He's probably 4 for me. But I think, numbers aside, plays a really
Clemente, Honus Wagner, Willie Stargell, Maz.
Yeah.
I mean, you could throw Bonds in there, too.
I know. I'm aware. I mean, Clemente and Stargell are automatics. And then from there, I don't know, Maz, Kutch,
You're
something.
going to get the hate mail now for kicking out Kiner to put in Kutch, right?
I'm just saying, man, like 30 years this dude has –
all those guys are Hall of Famers. Is McCutchen a Hall of Famer?
The only thing I would think of is the handful
We're saying
years.
Important, by the way. We're not saying best players.
First of all, what was he playing in? Four postseason games?
Yeah.
That's a big red check mark. Him not staying his whole career here, that's a little bit of a check mark. I know, but that's when we're talking about Mount Rushmore. I don't know if I put him on there. That's why I probably wouldn't put Bonds on there as well. That number 4 is up for debate because you throw Maz in there, he's a 260 career hitter.
Right.
I mean, it all depends on here what happens down the stretch, or if he has a couple more years left in him. But I would say he's in the conversation, maybe.
Yeah, he's right there on the cusp. I mean, for me, it's Wagner, Clemente, Stargell, Bonds. I think those are the 4 best players. I mean, obviously, I haven't seen Honus Wagner highlights because they don't exist, the videotape. So you go by numbers, and I go by the fact that there's a statue of the guy outside the place. So Wagner, then Stargell and Clemente, I've seen enough highlights. I know how important each of them was to those World Series championships in the 70s. And Bonds is arguably the greatest hitter of all time. And the first half of his career, first third of his career was spent here, and that was Hall of Fame worthy before he even left. So those are the 4 on the Mount Rushmore, whether you like Barry Bonds as a person or not. I think he belongs there. And Andrew McCutchen is right there. If you want to fault Bonds for not staying here, I think you do credit McCutchen for coming back and wanting to be the one who came back, for initiating that move. I think that's why we're much more willing to celebrate a guy with 2,000 hits and 211 home runs or whatever it is than the numbers that Bonds put up over
There is a Maz statue, though.
There is a Maz statue.
There's Kiner's hands, too.
But there's Kiner's hands. But, Maz isn't in the Hall of Fame if not for the greatest walk-off homer in the history of the game.
That's a pretty good fielder.
A fantastic second baseman, arguably one of the best second basemen of all time.
Yeah.
But the offensive numbers are what they are.
I think it's impossible to solve this, first of all.
So
Like, no matter what you say, you're going to be wrong and you're going to incite somebody.
Sure.
Let's just acknowledge that is true. Because, I mean, even listening to you guys, like, you both make very good points, and we very easily could exclude Andrew McCutchen from this discussion. And I could sit here and have my opinion influenced by recency, and that might very well be true. We also can't say what definitively, Ralph Kiner meant to that generation because we, largely didn't live it. You can't say what Honus Wagner meant to that generation because he didn't live it.
He was a key component to turning baseball around in Pittsburgh, Andrew McCutchen. I agree with that. I guess the big question is, do you view him as a Hall of Famer? Is he a Major League Baseball Hall of Famer?
I think he's borderline. I think he's got to put up some more numbers in his last few years here. And if they happen to come here in Pittsburgh as a part of a team that finally gets back to the postseason, I think that's going to carry a lot of weight. That he sort of bookended some success for the Pirates in his career.
I think he definitely needs postseason because you look at the numbers: the 2,000 hits, 1,000 ribs, close to 300 home runs, 200 steals. I think there's only 9 people in the history of the league that's done that. But it just seems like something's missing there. He'll be right on that border, I think, unless he gets some sort of a playoff success here.
All right, we got to take a break. Coming up next,
I don't get the answer.
We're getting into Mark's expertise. Well, you said he wasn't, so I'll answer for you.
I didn't say that.
Okay, is he or isn't he?
Yes.
Real quick. He is a Hall of Famer.
If he does what Chris is talking about.
All right. Now we're going to jump into some Steelers news coming up after the break. Stay right there.